sun goes down. Wake me up when the sun goes down. Wake me up when the sun goes down.
Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far, and I hope the weather is as beautiful by you as it has been here by me. It has been almost 50 degrees here in Northern Illinois. It's absolutely crazy. Happy February. I can't believe we're already into February, although at the same time, I feel like January was probably the longest month of the year. Does anybody else feel that way? But I am really glad that January is over and we are on to February, and of course we are also on to new projects, which is really, really exciting. Today we are going to be starting on a project that I've been teasing you guys about for probably at least the last 6 months, if not more. Right after I bought the fabric, or the pattern, I was just so excited about it, and little by little I've been buying the fabric to go along with it. We are finally in a place where we can start to work on it. Now, I have to tell you, I don't have all of the fabric that we need just yet. I do have one more cut of fabric that I'm going to need that actually I just found out that I needed this morning, but that's okay. We weren't going to be getting to any sewing today anyway, because today is just new project prep where we are going to be we're going to be ironing up a bunch of fabric and then cutting some things up, and I get to utilize my new workstation again that Mr. Wizard helped put together for me, and I'm just so excited about it. So I'm going to be able to iron nice big pieces and cut them up at the same time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really, really excited for that. And if you guys haven't already noticed it, we've got a puppy cam. There's a little bitty puppy cam set up. I've tested it out. The camera is not as wide of an angle as I would like, so I think I'm going to have to move it around a little bit more to get it better. But during these videos, while we are working on our puppy project specifically, I will make sure that we have a puppy cam going for when my puppies come, and just to test it out to make sure it works. Let's see if we can get some of them in here. Let's see if we can get any of them in here. There they come! Here they come! And of course the big one takes up the whole camera, but that's alright, that's alright. Hi puppies, thank you for coming in. Thank you very much. Where's the third one? Wrigley! The little bitty one. The little bitty one. Here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. There we go. Thank you very much, puppies. All right, we've got you on camera now. So thanks for sharing. You can come back later for some more. So I may have bribed them to come in. It's fine. See, the big one just takes up the whole camera. So we're going to have to do something a little bit with the camera angle and things like that. But see, there's the other one. So there you go. So that'll be fun to see. We'll see how that works out. But it's right here in the little corner. Oops, right here in the little corner. And I point there because that's actually where the camera is at. So that'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be working with today. Just a reminder to you guys, if you're interested, we do have merch here on the channel. If you do exclamation point merch, you can get yourself one of these really cool coffee mugs. You can also get yourself some t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts. Yesterday morning, I went out to breakfast with Mama Joyce, and she was spouting her So Not an Expert sweatshirt. I tried to snap a picture of her, but the picture turned out to be not so flattering, so I decided not to post it on her behalf. But she was spouting that for me, so I appreciated that. So thank you very much to her for that, and I enjoyed having breakfast with her as well. But today is basically going to be ironing and cutting up day, but I'm really excited because I get to kind of face you guys to a little bit more today than as opposed to normal working here. So I'm going to be a little distracted, with, at least when it comes to the cutting section of it, but for the most part we're just going to be hanging out this morning, so it'll be a lot of fun. I don't know what's happening with chat, but I think I've missed quite a few people that were very first in chat. So I do usually give a special shout out to the very first person, and I think that person was Brett46, but unfortunately I didn't see her message. Her message doesn't show up on my screen. So I'm going to give the shout out to her as being the first person in chat because somebody said hello to her. So I'm guessing it was her. But I didn't actually see the message. So good morning, Brett46. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being the first person in chat. And I really appreciate that. I know Susan was also one of the first people in chat. That is the one that I actually was able to see, was her first message. So good morning to you as well, Susan. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Susan is a member of the channel, so she gets a couple of extra little perks. If you're interested in checking out what those are, you can click the button down below that's got the little $sign on it, and it'll give you a little bit more information on what it means to become a member. So thank you to her very much for being a member of the channel. I really appreciate that. Teresa Lynch, thank you so much for being here this morning. Good morning to you. Brenda Foley is here as well. She says good morning from Kentucky. Good morning, Brenda. It's so great to see you. Hello. Brett's46 says happy Groundhog Day to you. Yes, I believe Mr. Wizard said the groundhog saw its shadow this morning, so there's 6 more weeks of winter. But let's face it, if we're being honest, we really haven't had a winter per se. We've had a couple of really cold days and a little bit of snow, but it really hasn't been a full-on winter. So I would really like it to actually get a little bit colder here and stay cold for a little bit, but that's all right. Terry says, good morning very much, Terry. Thank you so much for being here. She says, good morning. She says it's sorry, mister. She said 22 here by her. She says 18 depending on who you ask or what phone or laptop you're looking at. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good morning, Kathy. Thanks so much for being here. Happy Sunday morning to you as well. I appreciate you being here. Joyce, good morning. Thanks so much for being here as well. Joyce Hernandez is here. Saying hello to everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas is in the house. Good morning, Lucas. Thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it. He's had a rough couple of weeks, y'all. I got to see him on camera this morning. That's why we're running a little bit late today. We had breakfast this morning with our kids, and Lucas was looking a little haggard, but he's been a little stressed out with his job. He's got a lot going on there, but he's doing great. He's hanging in there. We really, really appreciate him being here, and hopefully you guys will get to see him in a couple of weeks for our Wild West Wednesday. Because of the way his job works, he is on call, so there is a distinct possibility that we may be able to start the stream, and then he'll have to leave right away or things like that, but we'll work around that, and you know, work is obviously way more important than a silly YouTube video, so we'll work around him and his schedule with that. So I'm going to get with him later today, hopefully, and work out that schedule for when the next one will be coming up. We'll be working on clue number 7. I'm really excited for it. I cannot believe we're already on clue number 7 for that project. We're going to be able to see what the final reveal is for that one here really soon. Hi, Dawn. Good morning. She says, hi, everyone. Hi, Dawn. It's so great to see you. Thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. Lorraine, good morning. It's so great to see you. I love her little puppy icon. That's so cute. Thank you for that so much. La la la. La 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 la. Sorry about that. I do have another puppy that just walked in, and I think she figured out where the camera was because she walked right underneath it. like right where you couldn't see it. So I don't know if you guys are able to see her or not. Oh, and I didn't realize my logo actually covers up that screen. Oh gosh, I didn't know that. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm sorry there, guys. I didn't realize that logo was right there in the corner. Let me move that. Let's see. I know I had a bunch of people. Hi, Patty. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here this morning. Happy Sunday morning to you as well. La 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 la. Sorry, I lost track of it. Terry says, aw, my channel is in the bot. Yes, Terry, yeah. Lucas had set that up as a shout out. So that as soon as you come in and you say hi, that it actually gives you a shout out on the channel. We'll figure out how to do that a little bit better soon, but thanks for the... Susan says, it's okay, Danny. Oh, well, thank you. Alright, I think that I've gotten... Judy, good morning. Hello, how are you? It's so great to see you. Gladys, good morning. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Sorry, guys. Like, it reset on me, so I have no idea where I was at. So I apologize if I'm missing you. I'm really trying hard not to, but there's a lot going on at the moment. I think I've gotten everybody. If I missed you, I am so sorry. I truly apologize. Please make sure you say hello to me again in chat so that I can make sure to catch you. I'm pretty sure that I got everybody, but if I didn't, please make sure you tag me. Oh, good morning, Agnes. There you are. Make sure you tag me. You can do the @ symbol. That's the A with the circle around it. And then what that does is it highlights it right on the screen so that I don't miss it. So thank you so much for that. And I'm going to actually do something real quick here, guys. I'm going to move this camera up just a little bit because I didn't realize my logo was right there in the corner, and so it's blocking the camera, and so that's not fun at all. So I'm just going to slide it up just ever so slightly so then it's right about here. So it's just above that logo for you. So then that way you guys can see a little bit of what I'm working on, but now you can see the puppy cam a little bit better. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, okay. So I forgot that that logo was down there in the corner. So that makes things a little bit easier for you. All right. Let me take a sip of my drink, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Yum, yum, yum. All right. So today we are going to be working on our puppy project. Now this is going to be a slow moving project, y'all. I can tell already. It's kind of complex. It's not complicated. Not at all. It's not going to be complicated at all, but it is going to be complex. There's a lot of moving parts. And I'm sure as we start to get into it, it's going to get a little bit faster. But that's kind of what my goal is for this year, for all of the projects that we're going to be working on this year, is I wanted to challenge myself a little bit. And I've talked about this already once before, but you know, I'm starting to build up my confidence with the quilting and with the sewing, and I feel like I can take on bigger and better things. And it's all about growing and learning, for at least for me anyway. Maybe not for you guys, but for me it is. It's all about growing and learning, and so that's what we are doing this year. Is we're picking some projects that aren't complicated, but they're just a little bit more complex. They're a little bit more intricate. There's a little bit more details to them, so that eventually we can build our way up to these really big, elaborate quilts. This one is called The Puppies. It's by Elizabeth Hartman. I bought the pattern forever ago. Gosh, probably 6 or 8 months ago now. And I have been so excited to start this project because you guys know I love my puppies. Yeah, I love my puppies. And I just thought this is going to be such a fun quilt. I am making it with the intention of keeping it for myself as a display piece in my living room when I have friends and family over, and obviously something usable as well. But that's the intent. We'll see how it goes. We're going to be making what they consider the small quilt on the pattern. There's a small and a large. We're going to be making the small, but I'm going to be adding borders to it, so it is going to be a little bit bigger than what it says here on the pattern. But that's okay. Oh, look, it even picks up the kitty cat. So for the small, it turns out there are 3 different blocks that we're going to be making. There's 3 different puppy patterns that we make. And those 3 puppies, that's going to distract me. Like every time I see them walk past the camera, that's going to distract me. But it's okay. There are 3 different puppy patterns that we're going to be making. And for each of those 3, we need to make 4 blocks. So the first instruction told us to go ahead and separate our fabrics out to start picking out what we need. Like I said, I still need 1 more fabric to make these blocks put together, but we're going to start ironing and quilting today. Ironing and cutting today. So I've kind of got things laid out a little bit. I've picked out my fabric colors. It says to go ahead and match up 1 fat quarter for the face fabric and 1 fat quarter for the ear fabrics for the 3 different puppy pieces. So let me show you what I've picked out. And then we're going to go ahead and start ironing these up. I'm getting my iron all hot and ready to go. I've got my... set those aside. I've got my best press here. Gosh, I hope there's enough in here. I forgot to refill. This should be enough. So let me show you what I've got here. So I went ahead and I picked up a fat quarter bundle from Hoffman. It's a Hoffman fat quarter bundle of batiks. It's Hoffman batiks. And so these are the 2 that I have picked out for... Forgive me. I'm still learning the names. There's the smoky pattern, there's the smoky blocks, there's the Toby blocks, and there's Lulu. I have picked out these 2 pieces for our Lulu blocks. I have picked out these 2 pieces, this dark and this light gray, for our smoky blocks. And then I have picked out, these are for Toby. These are for Toby, these are for Smoky, and then these are for Lulu. I'm going to have to write these down. But I did actually grab zip blocks so we can mark them. But these are my blocks for Lulu. These 2 here. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be ironing these all up and then cutting them based on the instructions. There's 4... 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of fabric that you need, not including the backing fabric. The backing fabric would be a 5th one. There's also a 1/2 yard of binding if you need it. I'm going to be using, I don't know what I'm going to be doing for the binding yet. So let me go ahead and put these back together. Sorry, just making sure I'm catching everything in chat. All right. So, let me put these in order here. So, this one was smoky. This one was for Toby. And this one is for Lula. Okay. That way I'm not losing my mind here. Alright, so the first things we need to do is we need to go ahead and iron these up. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to the section of the pattern that tells us how we're going to be cutting them for our smoky pieces. Smoky is first. Okay. Hang on. Okay, so one is for the face and one is for the ears. We need to decide which is which. So I'm going to use the lighter fabric for the face and the darker fabric for the ears is how I'm going to handle these. So I'm going to set this one aside for now because this is my ears. And we're going to work with this one first. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one up and we're going to go ahead and iron it. I am using my much larger pressing mat that Lucas gave me for my birthday. So thank you very much, Lucas, for that. It's going to come in huge handy. Look at this. I can get almost the whole thing open. It's fantastic. So thank you so much for that. Hi, Rita. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining us today. You can see my little puppy cam here in the corner. The dog toys are there, but there's no dogs at the moment. I'll shake the bell again in a minute. Let's go ahead and get this one all. Terry, they're a little pricey, and so I can understand the procrastination. And you're right, it was an absolutely wonderful gift, but I have to tell you, I absolutely love it. Like the little one that I have that I use every day, the smaller one that fits on my card table or my my TV tray is amazing. I absolutely love it. It works fantastic. I really don't have to use any steam in my iron for the most part at all, unless I have a really, really tough stain, or I'm sorry, not stain, crease. And then I still don't put any water in my iron. I just use a little spray bottle and I just spray it right on. But for the most part, I absolutely love it. It is probably one of the best investments that I made with regards to my sewing room and my sewing station here. Definitely worth it, but it is a little bit of a price tag. It's a little bit of a price tag. Alright, so there's one. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this around to get the other side. Some of them have an odor. They can develop an odor over time. The ones that I have bought have not had an odor to them. Mine does end up, because I do use a scented starch spray, so they do have a tendency to kind of take on that scent from the spray. But you can also wash them. Like soap and water will wash it. It does take a little bit to dry. But I know Shirley, who follows our channel, she did a video on her channel of how to wash your mat, and I have actually followed her process a couple times now, because they do get a little dirty. Well, Susan and Joyce are both saying that theirs didn't have an odor. Mine just smelled like wool. If that makes any sense, like it had a wool scent to it, but the scent goes away after a little while of being out of the packaging and just kind of being in your room. So that's really, like, the first couple of times I used it, there was a little bit of a, I don't even know how to describe it, but there was a little bit of a scent to it. It wasn't very heavy, and at least not in my opinion, and it didn't last for very long. Just long enough to kind of get the new out of it. A couple of, but mine takes on the scent of my starch for the most part, and it does get a little bit of a burning smell to it every once in a while because of you know, because the starch gets on it and then the iron and stuff. So that's usually when I just take the brush and wash it and dry it. A really thick bath towel folded up will work as well. Yes, it should smell like wool. Well, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. All right, so there's the first one. I'm going to do these one at a time because I feel like my ADD is going to be going crazy and I'm not going to remember what to do with what. So we're going to start out one at a time here, folks. And I know that's going to be a really slow process, but I just want to make sure that I'm not screwing this up. So I'm going to set these up here. Here is my ear fabric that we'll cut up later. Here's my Ziploc. Oh, hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. You can have a treat. Go, girl. She's like, if there's treats, Mom, I'm just going to stay right here. Hi, puppy. This is Ivy. Hi, Ivy. Okay. Let's go ahead and lay this out. The directions say, well, the directions show it laid like this, but I don't have that kind of space. I mean, I could have that space if I move this table, but I don't need it yet. So what I'm going to actually do is fold it in half first and sew it up, or cut it up this way first into the strips that I need, and then subcut those strips. So the L fabric is 5 inches wide, so I need one strip of 5. I need one strip of 4.5. I need another strip of 5, and another 1.25. You think you guys can remember that? No? Okay, well, we could try. Hi, baby. Alright, so let's do the 5 first. Let me go ahead and lay this out. Strip of 5, and I'm going to do a little over so that I can cut this edge straight. So it sounds like my neighbor's listening to some music. So we'll just have to be careful of that. So 5 inches that way. Double checking to make sure I did it. Yep. 5 inch. Okay. So there's 5. This is a brand new blade. I just changed it out yesterday. And then 4.5. 4.5. Yesterday, Mama Joyce and I ventured over to our favorite store, the quilt store, and we picked out some backing fabric for her project that she showed you guys the last week or the week before that she finished up. She posted a picture of it on our Facebook group. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's so cute. It's a little Halloween quilt. So we picked out some backing fabric for it. 4.5, and then we have to do another 5. The backing fabric is adorable. It's absolutely adorable. It's like these cute little animated pumpkins, and it also glows in the dark too, which we had no idea when we bought it. So it's so cute. I can't wait to see what the whole thing is going to look like. I have to drop it off at the long arm quilter here soon in the next day or two. I have to give her a ring and find out when she's available. 1.25. All right. But it's so cute. I'll show it to you guys soon. As soon as it comes back, I'll try and snatch it so that she can show it off to you guys. It's so cute. This one's going to be a nice, fun little Halloween quilt that she's working on. Okay, so this is extra. We're going to need let me grab a Ziploc out of here. We're going to need a scrap Ziploc for sure. I'll go ahead and throw this into this piece here. This is my scraps. I always keep, you guys have seen me do this 100 times before, but let me just explain in case there's anybody new. This is a project bin. This is one of my plastic bins. This is what I keep my whole project in, or as much of it as I can. I keep as much of it as I can in these plastic bins, and then they're stored down here in the bottom of my cabinet here. And then inside that bin is loose fabric, which is the stuff that has not been processed yet, or it's clipped up together because it's getting ready to be processed. And then in a Ziploc, I always put all my scraps in one Ziploc, and then I put, if I have a lot of pieces that I need to keep track of, I'll put those in Ziplocs as well, and everything stays nice and tidy inside this bin, and then all I have to do is pull the whole bin out when I'm ready to work on it. Now, somebody did tag me in something, and I missed it because the screen moved, so I apologize for that. Let me scroll back up just for a second. Did you look at long arms or small arms or short arms like mine? Hi, Terry. I have looked at them. They're just not quite in the price point that I'm ready to spend just yet, or in the time frame that I'm willing to look at just yet. The long arm, it's an amazing process, and it looks like a lot of fun. It's just not something I really have the time for right now. But it is definitely something that I'm going to think about in the future. I don't really have space in my home for a full-on long arm with the 10-foot frame or even a 6-foot frame. I just don't have that kind of space in my home for that. But that might be something that eventually happens. Who knows? You just don't know. Hi, Chloe. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. But I have thought about it. I have looked at it. Right now, I just love living vicariously through you. For those of you who don't already follow Terry on her channel, she has bought a mini cutie quilt frame, and she's been using that, and I've loved kind of learning from her. Mama Joyce says hello. Well, hello, Mama Joyce. How are you? Thanks so much for joining us. I was literally just talking about you and your quilt. We were talking about your Halloween quilt that we just did. Get you a she shed. Wouldn't that be nice, Terry? That would, or Teresa, that would be amazing. But it's just not in the budget right now. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. 3 teenagers had to keep keep Rack 46 entertained. My goodness. Youngest of 4. Joyce says, can't wait to, Mama Joyce says, can't wait to do the binding. She's saying that with a bit of sarcasm. She's terrified of the binding. We'll get there. We'll get there. Youngest of 9. My goodness, Joyce. That's crazy. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put my scraps in the Ziploc here. That will be our scraps Ziploc. And then I have little ones for each of the pieces that we're going to be having for our blocks. So then that way we can keep those separated as well. So I'll just hang on to that for a minute. So I've got my strip sets now. Now I need to subcut these strip sets. So I'm going to go ahead and grab them off of here for now, kind of in order if I can. Okay. Now from this piece here, we need to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need to cut 12 1.5 inch strips. So if I can get 6 this way, that will work. Oh, we need to subcut this other side. Hang on. I forgot we had a little bit of a salvage edge there. So let me grab that. This one was a 5. Yeah, this one was a 5. So let's go ahead and grab that. And then, of course, Mama Joyce says because she's finished this quilt top, she was just telling me yesterday that now she needs another project. She says, I need another project. And I said, well, we can help you with that. We can absolutely help you with that. So she's excited to try to start out something new. She will be doing the flyaway with my aunt in the next few weeks, because I think that one's going to be shipping here in February. So she's excited about that, but she needs another one. That's right, Terry. Good morning. Let's get you another project. For sure, for sure. Yeah, let's work on that. All right. So I'm going to lay that just on a line. All right, now these need to be, let me check again, make sure, 1.5. So I'm going to do a little over 1.5 for this very first cut, just because it's not a straight line. And I need to make, I said 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I need to make at least 6 of these. So let's see what we can get out of this. One, Count with me, folks. 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I got plenty. 5. One more. And 6. And that's going to give us our 6 pieces that we need. There's a piece of scrap there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Flip this over. Line that up. Okay. Okay, now this piece, these are for the L. So let me grab my alphabetties. Got a bunch of them here. I need an L. Does anybody have an L? These I think are all numbers. Yeah, these are all numbers. Okay. I need to buy some more sets of alphabetties, I think. Alright, so let me see if I can find an L in here. Mom says she was looking online and decided she needs to look in shops for a project. Yes. She was, we were picking out for backing fabric yesterday, and she made a comment that she kind of likes the idea of the kit better because they picked out all the fabric for her and she doesn't have to think about it. Starting is the colorway. There you go. Oh, Starling. Is that what it says? Starling. So the colorway that Mama Joyce has selected for her PMQ is called Starling. That's going to be a lot of fun. Mom, do we know what colorway my aunt has picked out? My aunt is also working on it, but I don't remember if she has told me which colorway she chose. Do you know what colorway my aunt has chosen? But my aunt is also going to be doing it. 3, 4, 5. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you for helping me count. All right, so I got L here. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Put that into our Ziploc. I'm going to mark this as smoky so that we have it, so we know what it is. She told me she had 2 in mind. She may have, and I forgot. Gotcha. I've marked it with smoky because that's what the pieces that we're cutting, and so I'm going to put these L's in here. For smoky. Alright. I'm going to need more letters, so I'm going to keep these handy. This was scrap, so put this in the scrap bin. Flamingo. Terry is doing flamingo. That sounds like fun. I can't wait to see it with you guys. I'm a little bummed that I'm not joining it, but at the same time, I'm also really excited for what we are doing right now. So I'm not superly upset about it. All right, so next piece of fabric is this one here. We need to subcut this one into 4 pieces, so not very many pieces. We're going to need to cut this one into... So I did 4. Just double check and make sure I did this right. Yep. So now I need to go this way. Here. Okay. Make sure this is lined up on the line. I just use my mat as a straight line. I do not use it as a measuring tool. It is pretty accurate. Like my lines really match up to my ruler, so it's really not a big deal, but you just want to make sure that you're choosing one. Either you're using your mat to measure or you're using your ruler to measure, because they can all be just ever so slightly off. All right, so now I need 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. I only need to cut 2 of these. So there's 1. Subcut that one in a minute. Nope. Glad I looked at that again. Subcut this one. Alright, so that's a scrap. I can put that up there. This one is okay to move there. This one I need to spin around. There we go. So yeah, Mama Joyce was mentioning that she really likes the kits better because then she doesn't have to match up all the fabrics and there's not as much stress. I thought that was kind of funny. Go. Alright, this is for M, so let me grab one of those. Here's an M. Here's an M. Sorry, what am I missing? Picking the backing yesterday was stressful. You know what, Mom? You put the stress on yourself. You know, I mean, it's you want it to look nice, you want it to be great, but we have to remember that done is better than perfect. That's just the way it goes. But I really think that the fabric we picked out is adorable. In fact, I have it just over there. Am I okay to show it off? Because I can show it to everybody. I think it's adorable. I absolutely love it. I think it's so cute. Finding and choosing fabrics is part of the fun. Susan, I agree with you. I think so too. Although there is a little bit of anxiety that goes along with it because you want it to look really pretty. And sometimes it's hard especially for me, and I don't know about anybody else, but you know, like even with this pattern, like trying to visualize this pattern in the fabrics that I've chosen can be a challenge sometimes. It can be a little bit of a challenge. So I understand the stress. Yes, I don't care. Okay, good. Then I'm going to go grab it. But I can understand the stress of that a little bit because, you know, you want it to look beautiful. You want it to look perfect. And it's really hard to picture what this piece of fabric is going to look like, you know, big scale in this design. Let me go grab the fabric so you guys can see. It is absolutely adorable. And then that way you can tell her, as much as I've been telling her, that it's going to be perfect. Let me show you. Give me just a second. I got to go over here and grab it. So I've got her 2 pieces right here because I haven't dropped them off at the long arm yet. You guys saw the top, so I just have the top here so you can see it. So this is the top. She took a picture of it on our Facebook group, so if you wanted to see the whole thing, you can. But it was a panel project. It was the same as our Hillside Charms project. It was so cute. You can see the beautiful bold colors. Check out the backing fabric that we've picked. Look at this. Isn't that adorable? Isn't that absolutely so cute? It is going to look so much fun, and it has glow-in-the-dark eyes, which it is going to be glow-in-the-dark eyes, and it's going to be absolutely perfect with these 2 colors. You can see, just laying them on top of each other. See how they blend so seamlessly? They're going to be absolutely gorgeous together. Absolutely gorgeous. And then she picked out, I don't have it with me, but for the binding, she picked out this dark blue, like stripy fabric. It's going to be so cool. It's so creepy cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. So she's having a hard time visualizing it, and I understand that, but it is going to be absolutely adorable. Look at this. This is so cute. So cute. So cute. I think she's going to love it. So here's the fabric again. It's these little pumpkins. You can see there's like skeletons in here. And there's a ghost every once in a while. But I think she's going to love it. What do you guys think? Do you think these go really well? So then that way it's a reversible quilt. They can use either side of it. I think it's going to be so much fun. She's going to love it. I think she's going to love it. I got to put this back over here. And the dark blue binding is going to be a really nice contrast, I think, against those other pieces. So cute. See? Cute. So cute. So cute. Double-sided. Yep. Yep, exactly. See? See, Mom? Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. All right, let's keep moving. Let's move on here. Got lots of cutting to do. All right, this piece here that we've got is going to be two separate pieces, two separate cuts. So the first one we need to cut 2 slices of the L fabric that we just did. L is, okay. Let's go ahead and grab that real quick. All right. So I just need 2 slices of this. So I'll put that one in just a second. But I think it's going to look fantastic. I think once it's put together, she'll see it put together, and it will make complete sense to her. But I get it. I get where she's coming from. Especially when you're new to the craft, it's difficult to visualize it. It can be really difficult to visualize it. Sandra says, good morning. I almost forgot it was Sunday. Yes, it is Sunday. And welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for being here, Sandra. It's going to make a fantastic double-sided piece. Absolutely. All right, let me grab the L's. We can put those back away. Got 2 more L's. I'm sorry, 4 more L's. We are cutting up pieces. Sandra, thanks for joining us. We are cutting up pieces for our puppy fabric. We've got a little bitty puppy cam set up right here. You can see, what's that, lamb chop? And there's a turtle there. We've got a couple of little puppy cam set up for when my puppies come to visit me. And I can entice them with a little extra something. It's the only one that's food motivated. The other 2 are like, I don't think so. Can you sit for me? Can you sit? Hey, good girl. Take it nice. Good girl. Oh, here comes the big one. Oh no, here's the little one. There's the little one. Hi, Wiggles. Wrigley. Good girl. Thank you for visiting. My puppies. All right, so we are back. So let me do this now. So now we need to cut 2.5 this way. So I'm going to turn it back this way for a minute. Cut a 2.5 inch strip this way, and then a 1.5. Yes. So 2.5. And then a 1.5. This is scrap. This bag. All right. 1.5 inch strip can go up there for a second. 2.5 inch comes down here. So yes, we had breakfast with our kids this morning. They're all doing great. Our oldest, and I say oldest because we technically have 2 sets of twins. Well, not technically, we do. We have 2 sets of twins. Mr. Wizard has a set of fraternal twin girls, and I have a set, and you guys know I have a set of identical twin girls. And then Mr. Wizard actually has a total of 3 girls. his girls are 4 years apart, and then of course mine are, so he has a set of twins, and then 2 years later are my twins, and then 2 years later is his littlest one. So they're all within a 6-year period of each other. They're all a 6 years, span of all of them. And so our oldest, which is Mr. Wizard's twin, who is the oldest by a few minutes, she just recently moved to Connecticut, like Wednesday. She moved to Connecticut. She starts a new job out there. We're really excited for her. We can't wait to hear more about it. So we got to see her for a little bit. She was kind of in between running some errands with her mom. So we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with her, but that's okay. We understand, she's got a lot going on. Things like that. So, all right. So we're going to be making 2 cuts. So we got to see her. We also got to see the other twin, her sister, Mr. Wizard's other twin, who lives down in Florida. So we got to see her, talk to her, find out what her weather has been like, because they had some snow down in her area. She didn't get any snow specifically, but she said it did get chilly for at least a little bit. So that was a lot of fun to talk to her. And then, of course, my 2 were down in Southern Illinois at school. And then, of course, we got to talk to Lucas, who's over on the eastern edge of Illinois. He's over there. And so it's been crazy. How did we meet? Twins group? No, we actually met online. Mr. Wizard used to be a bit of a gamer. He's not so much anymore. But he used to be, and so we actually met on a game online, and we were chatting, and we became friends on the game because we were there at the same times every day. And it turns out we were from the same area, which was very rare that you would ever come across anyone that was even in the same state as you, let alone the same general area. He was from further northern Illinois, really close to the Wisconsin border. So he was, about an hour and a half from me, but still closer than, most people you meet. And so we just kept chatting and kind of formed a friendship. And then the friendship just kind of grew into something more. And then we started hanging out in, my aunt is doing flamingo. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I can't wait to see what those look like. But, we started hanging out and dating, and eventually, here we are. Twins was just kind of a coincidence that came about, completely coincidental. It was just something that it turned out we ended up having in common. But yeah, so that's how we met. In a club. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, we both had children from previous marriages, and things like that. So we had that in common, and we talk about them often. And our kids were younger. His youngest was 5, gonna be 6 when we started dating, and my 2 were 7, gonna be 8, and then his oldest were 9, gonna be 10. So it was a really cool age, and we were kind of a little worried about it because that's a lot of girls to put in a room together. But we met at a public place. We went at a Chuck E. Cheese with the kids. So we thought, if nothing else, at least they'll be entertained and they'll be able to, stay to their own. But they paired off, and they went off, and they were like best friends the second they met. Like, they were just amazing. Oh my gosh, Mom. My goodness. Thank you so much for that super chat. Mama Joyce just gave me a $20 super chat. Thank you so much for that, Mom. That is truly generous. Thank you. Thank you. It says the third super on a live stream for this year. So thank you. Yes, hearts in chat for Mama Joyce, please. Thank you so much for that. That was very, very kind of you. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really, Mr. Wizard and I had made the pact very early on that if our kids didn't get along, it just wasn't going to work between he and I. And so we were really nervous about our kids meeting, honestly. But they did end up meeting. He and I had been dating for almost a year before we let our kids meet each other. We were just very cautious about it because they were so young and so impressionable, and we didn't want to impact them in any way. And so they all got together. And it was like magic. Like, it really was magical. It was just so amazing how well they got along together. And they have ever since. Like, it is like they were meant to be siblings. So we really got lucky. We've heard a lot of horror stories about families that just don't get along with each other. And they're all so close together. They talk to each other almost every day. It's so fantastic. We are truly blessed. Playing Yahoo Pool. He invited my daughter and I to his family cookout. Been together ever since. Brenda, that is awesome. See, I mean, it's not just a dating website that you can meet people online. There are other ways as well. Linda says, wow, really late, but I'm doing some of my family history. No problem, Linda. Welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for being here. We're just throwing hearts in chat for Mama Joyce. She just put up a $20 super chat. That's just amazing. Thank you again so much. She's super supportive of me and the channel, and I really appreciate that. Yes, Judy, it did really help that they were all so close in age, but that can also be a detriment, too, when they're that close in age. But it really turned out well. They get along just absolutely amazingly. We're super lucky. Super, super lucky. They've all been at each other's birthday parties and graduations. And it's just... Mr. Wizard and I are still to this day just floored at just how amazing they all get along. We're just so grateful for that. So grateful. Okay, let's get this stuff done here. All right, so we gotta get 2 cuts out of this piece here. So let's go ahead and do that. I need to subcut this one here in just a second. Okay, this is a piece of scrap. It can go up here. Sometimes it's just meant to be. That is absolutely right, Brenda. I firmly believe that 100%. And let me tell you, Mr. Wizard is amazing. He is really a super patient man because he had been divorced for quite a while when he and I met, but I had only just recently been separated. I hadn't even been divorced yet. I was officially separated, but not divorced when he and I actually met. And so he was super patient with me. He didn't rush me. He didn't push me to do, to move our relationship to any type of a level that I wasn't comfortable with. And I kind of dragged him along for a little while because I just wasn't ready for another committed relationship just yet. But he was fantastic. He was great. He kind of stuck it out with me. And he's been here since. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. So he definitely has the patience of a saint sometimes, especially when it comes to putting up with me. Because I can be a handful. We might have had 5 teenage daughters, but I am the most drama. For sure. All right, now I got to find I. I think it's over here. Yep, here's the I. All right, so just cutting up some more pieces here. That is great. Yeah, your daughters are not just daughters, not just sisters, but they're best friends. That is really great. That is amazing. Yeah. Terry says it's nice to have a spouse like that. Yeah, well, I agree with you 100% because I make him crazy. And some of my crazy he does on purpose, though. I think that's his payback. He likes to do some things on purpose to make me crazy. But yeah, of all of our teenage daughters, I will fully admit that I am the most drama. I am the cause of most of the drama. What is that piece? Oh, this is a scrap piece. I was like, what is this piece up here? That's a scrap piece. See, this is why you got to do things slowly, because otherwise you miss stuff. Okay. Alright, so now... Wait a minute. Nope, I think this is the scrap piece and this is the piece I needed. So this is why you double check. Double check. Double triple check. So I need a piece that's... Yep, this is the scrap piece. Alright, there we go. Now we're moving. grab this. Go just a little bit extra of the line so that I've got a nice clean cut when I'm ready. Now I need to make 2 cuts. That, okay. Okay. One. 2. That's a scrap piece. Let's cut. This one needs to be spun around. But yeah, he is super patient with me. He's not super patient with a lot of things, but he is super patient with me, which is nice. And our kids, so of course, our kids. He has been an amazing father figure to my 2, and of course to his own. So. All right. Oh, so out of this piece here, this extra piece that we had here, I need to cut 2 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay. Scrap. Go this way, and I know that's a nice clean cut piece. But I'll give myself just a little bit of wiggle room because I've got it. Spin this one around like that. Spin it round, right round, right round. Does anybody else play that in their head when they say to spin it right round? Okay, and now that one is for this piece here. The piece of fabric is almost as big as the alphabet-y. It's like super tiny. Alright, so there's that. We've got 1 more strip left to cut. Front row. That might have just been this piece here that I thought was extra. Yep, it was. Okay, this piece that I thought was scrap, it's not scrap. We needed it. That's alright, though. We didn't do anything with it, so thank goodness. This is scrap. Let's get rid of this scrap before I'm going to lose my mind, people. Here we go. Sorry, I'm missing chat here. Looks like they're very small pieces of fabric you're cutting. Yes, Mom. There are some pretty small-ish pieces of fabric. That J piece was pretty tiny, but the other ones are fairly big. Fairly decent size. So there are some smaller pieces, but we'll get over it. We'll get through it. We'll work through it. All right, so here we go. We've got this one here. We need to make 2 cuts of this. Ooh, that's a lot. Down a little bit. There we go. 2 cuts of this here. 1. 2. Move this one up there. Flip this one around. Sorry guys, give me just a second. I will catch up to chat in just a second. I'm just doing this here. The directions do actually give us a layout for the fat quarter, which is really nice. We don't have to make any guesses here. Excuse me. It's really nice that they give us those cuts so that we don't have to worry about it. Now this is an H, which I thought I had. Did I have an H? No, I don't have an H. I need an H. Here it's an H. Alright. There are a lot of pieces. That is one of the things about the Elizabeth Hartman fabric. The Elizabeth Hartman patterns. There are a lot of little pieces, but they make beautiful blocks. They are all pieced blocks. Some of them can be a little. How many dog faces are you getting out of each fat quarter? Out of each fat quarter, 4. Each fat quarter will give me enough pieces to make 4, which is what we need. So thank goodness for that. We get 1 fat quarter for the face pieces, 1 fat quarter for the ears, which we have yet to cut up yet. And then I also need some light detailed fabric for the inside of the face. So right now what we're cutting is we're cutting these colored pieces of the facing. We're not cutting the middle section. Actually, we're doing smoky. So we're doing the what are we doing? The face fabric for smoky, which is this piece here. So we're doing this orange here. I don't know if you guys can really see it on the camera. It's pretty tiny. But is that better? We're doing the face here. So this piece here is what we're doing. We're not doing the black yet, and we haven't done the ears. We're just doing the face pieces. Is what we're cutting up right now. But each fat quarter will give us enough pieces to make 4. If you're doing the small quilt, you need 4. If you're doing a large quilt, you need 8. So you would cut it twice. We only need to cut it once, thank goodness. So I am going to be doing J's with this, and I need to do 1, 2. I need 3 cuts for the J. So 1. 2. So with the Elizabeth Hartman patterns, I do know there's a lot of cutting, a lot of pieces to cut, but I know that it's worth it. I know it will be worth it. Let's go ahead and pile these up. These are the smallest pieces we're going to be working with, and these are pretty tiny, but these are the smallest ones. Everything else is bigger than this, so that's good. It's not my pattern, so I'm trying really hard not to give you guys the full cutting sizes of things. But you can see there's some bigger pieces here, and then there's a bunch of small pieces. So that is the middle section. Now we need to cut, 6 ears. No, 8 ears. We need to cut 8 ears. So that's all of our face pieces. Let's just grab. So let's go ahead and grab our ear fabric now, which is the darker of the 2 fabrics we were working with. Let's go ahead and iron that up and cut those. So no sewing today. It's going to be a little boring. Sorry for that. But these big projects, that's what happens. So are all the dog faces the same? Yes and no. There are 3 different dog faces, and we're going to be making 4 of each dog face for a total of 12 blocks. So there are 3 different faces, so no, but you have to make 4 of each one, so yes. If that makes any sense at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay this out. Get it. Trying to see. Yeah, I've got like that much left, so I'm good. All right, so this fat quarter is going to be for our ear pieces. We need to make 8 of them. I'm just going to iron it up really fast. You don't have to use starch if you don't want to. I just prefer to use starch, and all of these are batiks, so they're a little of a different feel to them than a regular standard cotton. And I know some people do not like working with batiks, and that's okay. That's your prerogative. I like batik fabrics, so I was really excited to be able to use them. Yes, Judy, the pattern is called The Puppies by Elizabeth Hartman. I want to say I put a link to, an Amazon link to it in the description of this video, but I may not have. But yes, it is called The Puppies by Elizabeth Hartman. I'll try and show it to you guys again. It's called The Puppies by Elizabeth Hartman. And I am doing the small quilt, but I will be adding a border to it to make it a little bit bigger. Wait until you guys see the fabric that I have picked out for this, for the backing and the borders. We'll get to that eventually. And I know I've shown it to you guys once before, but it's absolutely gorgeous. In fact, the backing fabric, you guys can see that on the thumbnail to these videos. You guys will be able to see that because that's all those puppies that you see in the background. That is actually the backing fabric for this particular project, so it's really exciting. All right, so let's grab that out of the way. Move this out of the way. That here, this here. So I need to make, consulting with the directions again, smoky, 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 smoky block. I need 8 of these. Do 7, 14. If I do them 3.5. 14. I have to do them 3.5, so I'm gonna have to do 3 of 3.5 and then do 2. Yeah, okay, sorry, it was just, there is no instructions on how to cut the ears from the fat quarter. You just kind of figure it out on your own, which is totally fine. It's just one cut, so we just have to kind of, you know, move it around in our brain for a second, work it through. So I'm going to cut 3 strips first, and then subcut those 3 strips into the sizes that I need. Fold it up. I use my folds line as my straight line. Okay. So there's 1. Cut that one in a minute. 2. And I actually could use this same fabric, the same fat quarter, for another puppy block if I wanted to with regards to the ears, but I want to kind of keep it, I have coordinating fabrics that I'm keeping together, so I'm going to go ahead and move this piece to our scrap basket, our scrap bin. And then it'll be a nice giveaway later on. So, if you're new to the channel, then you may not know this already, but once we've completely finished with the project, I move all of my scrap fabrics from a project. Once we're done with it completely, I move all my scrap pieces from a fabric into a scrap bin, and then once a quarter, anyone who's a member of the channel is also part of my Scrap Busters Club, where I give away an 8x8 by 4 box filled with these scrap pieces. I do it at least, that I said once a quarter, that's not true. At least once a year, sometimes twice a year, depending on how many projects we have. I randomly just grab handfuls of each of the projects and I throw them into a big box and you get it. So if that's something that, if you're interested in receiving scrap pieces from one of our projects, or maybe multiple of our projects, consider becoming a member of the channel where you can do that. Terry says, it was a big box and I love the fabrics. Thanks, Terry. Well, I'm glad that you like them, Terry. They'll work really well for our block party videos if you guys are interested in joining those. Those will work really well for that. They'll work for anything you want to use them for, really. But yeah, so then that way, because I know you guys will put them to much better use than I will. If you are a member of the channel and you prefer not to be part of the Scrap Busters Club, that is totally up to you. 100%. You just let me know and then I won't send you a box, and it's not a big deal. But it is just, it is one of the perks of being a member of the channel or a moderator of the channel. Hang on. Okay, so this one is this size. Just go. Speaking of block party videos, I do have the next block picked out. Forgive me, I did not look to see what page it was on, but I do have it picked out, so you'll have to, I will post a note on our Facebook page, and there will also be a, excuse me, a thumbnail to a video that should be posted hopefully by the end of the day today that will tell you what it is, and next week when we come back next Sunday, I will absolutely tell you which one it is, because I just didn't write it down. But I did pick it. It has been picked out. Okay, this way. And now I need to make 2 cuts, 1 cut, just one cut this way. So that's a great way for you to use up those fabrics if you didn't really have a use for them before. Scrap piece, spin it around. That. So a little sliver. All right, so these are N. These are the ears. You don't have to use alphabetties like I am. You can use whatever you want to. Like you can cut enough fabric to make one of these blocks at a time. I mean, you can do this however you want to. This is just how I'm doing it. And it is going to take a lot of cutting. So there's going to be quite a few episodes of this series that are just going to be me sitting here ironing and cutting. Because there's a lot to cut. So if you're the kind of person that is looking for something to be finished, this is definitely not the series for you. It's going to take a while for that to happen. I don't even expect us to finish this quilt by the end of the year, if I'm being perfectly honest. But we might. We might finish it before the end of the year. The projects that we've picked this year are much longer projects. They're going to take a lot more time, a lot more steps to do. But I truly believe that they are all going to be worth it in the end. And I've tried to, at least in the schedule that I put together so far, I've tried to sprinkle in some other projects where we get a little bit of a win out of it. We'll finish something quick and easy. So we get a little bit of a win as we're moving through these. I did just get word yesterday that the next shipment for our new Norfolk quilt Block of the Month project is shipping, so I'm really excited about that, to see what the next block is for that. I just got word on that yesterday. Alright, so there we go. Did anyone see the moon last night with Venus visible as well? It was beautiful. I missed it yesterday, but I did see it the day before. I don't know if it was Venus that I could see, but it was really cool the way it was laid out. I noticed it was like you could clearly see like the moon, and then there's a shadow, and then there's a really bright, maybe it was Venus, but a really bright star not too far from it. So I'm not sure if that was the same thing or not. I'm terrible with those types of things. Lucas is over there gambling. Alright, so that is what we've got for the face for this block. Now we still need background fabric, we still need some solid detail fabric and other things like that, but we have a lot of cutting to do for this project. Like, there is so much cutting. We're not going to start on the background fabric just yet because I want to try and cut all the background fabric at one time. So I'm going to leave the background fabric for now, and we're going to just move on to the next one. We've got about another half an hour or so, so we're going to go ahead. So these are all the colored pieces that we need for the smoky blocks. There's enough here to make 4 blocks. So we're going to put this aside for right now, and we'll get started on cutting pieces for the next set of blocks, which is our Toby blocks. It was so beautiful. I could see the crescent moon with Venus to the right of it. I was chasing it as the world turned until it was hidden behind a tree. That's really cool, Terry. That is really cool. I saw something on Friday night as I was driving in. I don't know if it was Venus or not, but I thought it was really cool. Let me grab my marker. So this is Toby. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have used gallon-sized bags instead of quart-sized bags, because I'm thinking once we make the blocks, we would put the blocks back in the bags. So probably should have used gallon-sized ones, but you know what? It's fine. I've already committed to the quart-sized ones, and we'll see what happens. I go through so many Ziplocs because of these projects. It's crazy. Like, I have a bin of them here, so like when I don't write something on them, or if I can reuse them, I'll just scratch that out. I keep them in a bin back here. So I try to reuse them if I can. Alright, so Toby is the next one up. Let's go ahead and grab our fabrics for Toby, which are these two here. We're going to use the darker fabric for the ears, just like before. And we're going to use the lighter fabric for the face. And this is a different face. Toby's face is, if you guys can kind of see it here, it's this one here with the 2 colored pieces and the white strip down the middle. That one's Toby's. Right here. It's Toby. So the one over here, that's Smoky, that's Toby. And then this one here in the middle with just the 1 colored piece, that is, forgive me, Lulu. So right now we're going to be working on Toby. First and foremost, though, we need to go ahead and iron up this piece. So let's turn our iron back on. Wait for that to get warm for just a second. Terry says, I went out late at night on the yard with the raccoons. Then I remember the raccoons are not afraid of people. Yep. Most raccoons aren't. Most raccoons are not afraid of people. Terry wants to know, what is the name of the pattern? I would like to look it up, please. Yes, it is called The Puppies by Elizabeth Hartman. The Puppies by Elizabeth Hartman. Come on, focus. There we go. I thought I put a link in the description. I bet I didn't, though. But I thought I did. I have never tried an Elizabeth Hartman pattern before, but we both know Sean from the guy who sews. He does a lot of them, and he really seems to like them, so I trust him. I trust his judgment, and so far the directions seem very simple. The directions are simple, but it is a lot of steps. It is a lot of pieces that you have to put up together because the quilts are detailed. They're very detailed, but they're easy at the same time. They're all block pieces, they're all squares, and things like that, so it's not going to be like half square triangles and all this weird crap. So that's the cool thing about it, is there's no paper piecing on it. But it's challenging. Like, there's a lot to it. So like I said, I do not expect to finish this anytime soon. I do not expect to finish this very quickly. And it does take a lot of fabric. I bought a 12, so far I have a 12-piece fat quarter bundle, which you could also use 10-inch squares. The directions say you could either use 10-inch squares, so you could buy yourself a layer cake, or you could use the fat quarter bundle. I bought a 12-piece one originally because I was going to do the large and then changed my mind and decided to just do the small. So I have extra fat quarters that'll go into the scrap bag. Otherwise, you just need 6. Then you need a half a yard of light solid detail fabric for the inside of the faces, which is the piece that I'm missing. You need a quarter of a yard of dark solid detail, which I have this solid black here that we're going to use, and that's just for the eyes and the nose. That's just a couple of 2.5-inch strips. So if you got extra jelly roll strips laying around, you could just use that. I even have a really dark brown jelly roll strip that I might switch out for the black. I haven't decided. I think I'm going to go with the black though. You need 2 yards for the small quilt. You need 2 yards of background, 2 3/4 yards of backing, and then you need a 1/2 yard for binding. So 2, 3, 4. So all total, it's 5 or 6 yards of fabric that you need for the top. So it is a decent amount of fabric, but it's also a nice, decent sized quilt too. It is a 40 by 52. Oh, these are scrap pieces. I didn't put those away. Ironing this out. Usually our live streams end at 12:30. However, because we did start a half an hour later because we had breakfast with our kids, we will go till 1 o'clock today. If you guys have got other plans and you need to take off, I completely understand. That's not a problem. But we're going to be here for at least another half an hour. Let me grab this one here. And I expect to have it. She says, thanks, found it. No problem. I expect at least the next 2, maybe even 3 live streams to simply be cutting fabric for this project. I expect that to be the case because, like I said, there are a lot of pieces to this. I will try to break that up as much as I can with a little bit of sewing in between, but first we have to get all of the pieces cut for the puppy blocks. And we have to cut all the fabric for it first. So, you know, you can't do it at one time. You can't rush it. All right. Here is this one. This fat quarter wasn't cut very well. All right. We have plenty of extra, so it should be okay. There we go. Directions. All right. We are going to be making for large quilt only, see note on opposite page. For the large quilt only, cut 2 additional pieces of H and K. Oh, that's for the large quilt. Gotcha. Alright, we're going to be making the small, so I don't need those. Alright, so I need this one here. 4 1/4. Yep, 4 1/4. Okay, and then a 1 3/4. For the most part, this is straight sewing and diagonal sewing. So that's basically corner to corner. I read through the entire book of instructions, and they're going to be so this is going to be really easy to put together. It's just a lot of little parts. But I am confident that it's going to look amazing. It's just going to take us a hot minute to get through all the pieces. And speaking of hot minutes, it has been a hot minute since we've seen a puppy. There's a puppy. There's a puppy. The same one. Can you sit, please? Can they see you spin? Can you spin? Can you spin? Can you spin? Good girl. Good girl. Spin, spin, spin. Spin. There. Yeah, I know the table's in there. Over here. There you go. Spin. There we go. Turkish dog. Turkish dog. Turkish dog. Good. Addison can go up too. Addison. Up. Good girl. And you guys can't see Wrigley because she's off the camera. But Wrigley. Wrigley. Up. Good girl. We don't make them do that very often because it's not good for their back legs. But every once in a while it's fun. Wrigley, but Ivy likes to spin. She's our circus dog. We call her our circus dog. Yes, Addie, Wrigley, and Ivy. So we have Addison, Wrigley, and Ivy. They are all named after the Cubs. They're actually named after Wrigley Field, which is where the Cubs are housed. Chicago Cubs. Wrigley is obviously Wrigley Field. Yep. And then Addison is from the address where Wrigley Field is located. It's Clark and Addison. And then Ivy is for the ivy that's along the back wall. So, it's fun. It started with Addison, who Mr. Wizard kind of snuck that one in there. I actually wanted to name Addison Sadie because she was supposed to be brown. She's supposed to be a brown dog. But she turned white on us because that's the breed, and we hadn't really done enough research on the breed to understand that that's what was going to happen. But she turned completely white on us as she got older, and so I'm really glad that we didn't end up naming her Sadie because it really wouldn't have matched. But he snuck that in there when we got her. He's like, "What about Addison?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's a pretty name. Yeah, we'll go with that." And then later he explained to me that Addison was for Clark and Addison, which is Wrigley Field. So because of that, and then he said Wrigley, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool name too. I really like Wrigley. And so we picked out Wrigley's name before we got her. We knew the name of the dog that we wanted to get. We just wanted to find the right dog. And while we were looking at Wrigley, we were picking her out from a breeder. The breeder came in, and we had Addison with us, and she goes, oh, is this really, who is this? And we said, oh, this is Addison. And she goes, oh, that's so cute. She goes, so is this one going to be Ivy? And I looked at Mr. Wizard and I went, oh, Ivy. And he goes, oh, we're going to have to get another dog now. So Ivy's name was picked out while we were picking out Wrigley. So then it was just a matter of finding the right dog to fit the name. So the next dog that we get, we've already decided we're going to name them Clark, or a variation of the name Clark to go with Clark and Addison. And I'm really looking at a Yorkie. I would really like a teeny Yorkie, like one of the little bitty ones, but we'll have to wait and see. But we're not in any hurry. We're not shopping for any puppies right now. A 3 is plenty for right now. We'll probably wait a few more years, but yeah. Kathy says, so Terry, I have that puppy fabric. Yeah, so the camera is right up against the desk, so I'm gonna have to put it on the desk, I think, and move it. But it started out there, but we'll keep moving it until we find the right angle for it, for sure. But yep. My Mill Mama dogs came from. Oh, gotcha. Came with their name, so I kept them to honor the rescue, but Sebastian, I chose his name. Yes, our first dog, Bubbles, same thing. We kept her name. She came from a rescue as well. Judy says, so are you going to get a few more and name them after the White Sox? No, Mr. Wizard's. The next probably will be either the Bears or the Blackhawks. Mr. I can hear Mr. Wizard from down the hallway going, no, we're not naming them after the White Sox. No. So no, we're not White Sox fans in this house. Sorry to anyone who is. Yeah, he's very, you can hear him down the hallway. No. That's pretty funny. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these pieces laid out. So let me grab the first set here. My kitty cat. You can see her just off camera. We do have a cat as well. She's an elderly cat. She's I think she's 17 years old now. Oh, we need to cut that side. I forgot to cut that. Went to go lay it out, and I'm like, why is it all weird and crooked? Because you didn't cut it, D. This side. Go. So yeah, that's our puppies. That's their names. Yeah, we'll work on the puppy cam a little bit more. Unfortunately, I still can't get Streamlabs to use more than 2 cameras at a time. So when we're using the Zoom cam, I won't be able to use the puppy cam, which is unfortunate. But for this particular project, I don't think I'm going to need to use the Zoom cam. I think we're going to be able to use the puppy cam. So at least for this project, every time we pull the puppy cam, we will pull the puppy cam out. So it'll be something fun, something different, something fun. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to do 4 cuts like that. Okay. Go. Sorry guys, just counting here. Give me a second. That's scrap. Okay, there's that one. This one needs to be flipped around. Oops, it kind of shifted a little bit on me. There we go. So far the pieces that we've been cutting have not been super small. I mean, there was a 1/4 by 1/4 square at one point. But that's still not what I would consider super small. I'm assuming those pieces are going to be diagonal sewing pieces anyway. This one's a J. So now I need to find another J. I don't know if I have a word. G, C, H, I. Here's a J. I need to order some more alphabetties. Or I need to make more. One of the two. Alright, so there's the J's. Those are going to be going in here. Bag, get those set up in there. How many thimbles is a fat quarter? Linda Denton, I'm not 100% sure if you do exclamation, thank you Terry, if you do exclamation point prices it'll tell you. Speaking of fat quarter, thank you for reminding me. I just, yesterday, dropped off all of the packages off at the post office. So if you won the fat quarter giveaway that we had a couple weeks back, the beginning of the year for my birthday, if you won the fat quarter giveaway or if you redeemed your thimbles in the month of January, those have all been out. Shrinky dinks. Judy, that's awesome. That's hysterical. I love that. That's a great idea. I never even thought to do that, but you're right. That's a fantastic idea. I wouldn't even know how to do that. That would be fun. If you won the fat quarter giveaway or you redeemed your thimbles in for prizes for the month of January, those have all been mailed. Those were mailed out yesterday, but that doesn't mean you can't redeem your thimbles. It just means you will have to wait till the end of February before you receive your packages. And as a reminder for anyone who is part of our Fat Quarter Club, which is the second level for membership, those fat quarter bundles, you receive 3 fat quarters every quarter. You'll get those at the end of March. Just so you are aware of that. Shrinky dings. That would be so much fun. Like, Judy, if there's like a pattern or a video or something that you followed, or how you got the materials to make those, I would be really interested in making that, or how you did it. So if you could email me, if you have any information on that, if you could email that to me, that would be amazing, because I would love to do that. That would be so much fun. And I love the idea of having my own made. That would be a lot of fun. So you can do ! email and chat, and it will help with that. Terry, Mama Joyce, Mama Joyce, Terry says, Flyaway ships on Friday. So if you prepaid for, then you will get a whole blue box, if, like the ones back here. If you did not prepay and you're going month to month, then you will just receive your single brown one. And that one, you will get that one in the next few days. And I think that the patterns for those are in your vault, which is through that, forgive me. There was like a thing that Cotton Cuts was doing where they weren't going to email them to you anymore. They were going to put them in the vault. So I think that's how that works. Judy says, I'll shoot you an email. Thank you. Terry says, I prepaid. So I think Mama Joyce did too. Linda says, okay, then I'll wait till the end of the month. Linda, honey, you don't have to wait till the end of the month. You can redeem them at any point in time. I just won't ship them till the end of the month. You can redeem them every live stream. So if you earn 10,000 now and you earn another 10,000 next live stream, you can redeem them again. You can redeem them every live stream. I collect them up and I pile them up, and then at the end of the month is when I mail them. That's all. You don't have to wait till the end of the month to redeem your thimbles. You can redeem them at any time. Now they have a web page. Yeah, to access them all in one place. Yeah. They started that with the Wild West one, but they were also emailing the Wild West ones as well. So I have to be honest and say I haven't gone in there to get them. Okay, so that's J. Let's work with I. That goes this one underneath here. This is a scrap. Throw that away. Well, I'll throw it away, but, put it in here. I. Okay. That makes things easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Gotcha. All right. Yes, so I'm really excited for everybody that's joining Flyaway. We will not be participating in Flyaway here on this channel, but that does not mean that you won't necessarily see it. Mama Joyce will be doing it, so I'm sure if she joins us on a Saturday stream, on an After Dark edition, she'll be doing it at some point. Everybody that is joining the Flyaway, please post pictures of it in our Facebook group. I want to live vicariously through you guys because I do miss it, but I am also excited for the Block of the Month project that we are going to be working on as well. So I don't regret it. But I am going to miss it a little bit this time. Two. 3. 4. Okay, that's a scrap. 1, 2, 3. Spin this one around. When I'm working with bigger pieces and I have to do that, I'll just spin the whole mat around so that my pieces don't move everywhere. But since this one's pretty small, I'm just going to go ahead and work with it this way. But you guys have seen me just spin the whole thing around. Brat46 has redeemed a fat quarter. Congratulations, Brat, on earning enough thimbles to redeem that fat quarter. Like I said, we'll go ahead and pile that one up for you. And then I will mail it to you at the end of February. So again, you can redeem your fat quarters, you can redeem your thimbles on every single live stream through the entire month. And I pile them all up for you, and then I mail them all at one time. So it's just that way I don't have to mail them every week. It saves a little bit of postage. But every single live stream, you have the ability to redeem your fat quarters. Your thimbles. Hi, Lucas. I'm sorry. Hi, Melanie. Sorry. She said hi to Lucas, and that's what I read, and that's what my mouth said. So, hi Melanie, welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for joining us. We're running a little late today because we started a little late. We had breakfast with our kids this morning, so we're running a little behind. And then I kind of lost track of time and got a little distracted and forgot to turn the countdown on. So that's why there wasn't a full 10-minute countdown like there normally is, because I kind of forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So I need 4 more cups of. Okay. Yeah, I just happened to look up at the clock and I'm like, oh, look, it's 11 o'clock. Oh, shoot, I forgot to start the countdown. So we started a few minutes late because I did give you guys a couple-minute countdown just to build up a little bit of suspense. 1. 2. 3. 4. That's scraps. Set that up there. 1, 2, 3. Flip this one around. Sorry, guys. I have a tendency to focus a little bit when I'm cutting, trying to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay. I don't keep the little teeny tiny sliver pieces. I throw those away, but I do keep everything else. As long as it is at least 1 inch by 1 inch, I will keep it and throw it in our scrap bin. And then our Scrap Busters Club will receive at least 1 box, if not more, from me. Just depends on how many projects we work on for the year. This one is K, which I thought I saw a K. Maybe I did not see a K. Uh-oh. I don't have a K. V, Y, I don't think I have a K. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. I have an O. I have a K. I might have to make one. My K must be buried in something else. Who knows? It's not here, right? No. No. Okay. Okay. I have no K, okay? I'll just make one. It's fine. I just take a Post-it note, cut it in 4, and write the letter on it. It's fine. Not a big deal. I have a B, too. Lucas and I had run out of a B for a little while, but I did end up finding one. So, I just need to buy more sets, I think. Yeah, just make one. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, yeah. Evidence locker. Yes, thank you. That's what they called it. The evidence locker. I couldn't remember what they called it. Oops. Could not remember what they called it, but that's what they called it. They called it the evidence locker. All right, now I got a K. Haha. See, I got a K. All right. This is scrap. And then I need to get an I. No, an H. An H. I have an H here somewhere. Yeah, I have an H. All right. H. Ooh, geez, these are really tiny. Zoinks. These are tiny pieces. Yep, that's what I thought. Two. Super tiny. 3. 4. Okay, that's scrap. Those go up there. This one needs to be spun around. There we go. Really super teeny tiny pieces. These are H's. The alphabet is bigger than the piece. That's alright though. Oops, missed one. Missed one. Super teeny tiny little ones here. There we go. Alright. Those in there. Alright. So that is all of the face pieces for Toby. Not all face pieces. All of the face fabrics. We still have background fabrics and we have the solid detail fabrics that we need. We still need to do the ears, which I can do that with a different fabric. Looks like we're just about out of time. So I'm going to go ahead and take this fabric here, just so we know what we're doing when we come back to this. Put that one here like this, so that I know that this fabric is for the ears. That and Toby. What are they? I don't have them. I make them. Oh, the alphabetties. They are little pieces of plastic. Honestly, I bought them from online. They're kind of pricey, but I bought a full set of them online. They're little hard pieces of plastic. They're marked on both sides, and they just got a letter on them. They're called alphabetties. I buy them on Amazon. Important to keep things straight. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes, they are called alphabetties. You're right. I make them when I need to, but I like having the little hard pieces of plastic. That way I don't have to keep making them. I can keep reusing them. I have 2, maybe 3 full sets. It's A through Z and then 1 through 0, or 0 through 9. So an alphabet set comes with those 2 both. And so I use them, and I think I have 2 or 3 sets. But I feel like I need some more. So I'm probably going to order 2 or 3 more sets of them. So then that way, because I do like this. I mark all my pieces and then I throw them in a project bin, and now I don't have those pieces to use in something else. And you guys have seen, somebody said that was an adorable pattern. Thank you very much for that. By the way, I don't know who that was. Oh, Terry says, that's an adorable pattern. I saw someone put glasses on the one she made. Yes, there is an option for glasses. It is in the back of the book. It's for an applique. You can put glasses on it if you want to. We are not going to attempt that. We're just going to put the black together. Applique is something I still need to kind of learn how to do. So I'm not going to give myself that kind of stress right now. I laminated a set, but I just use a Wonder Clips with them. I have not bought a set of Wonder Clips with the letters on them. Some people just write the letters right on them. I have the little teeny tiny Wonder Clips. I need to buy bigger ones. Yeah, I mean, use whatever works for you. I've seen people with pins that have letters on them. I've seen people use like I do with the little Post-it notes. Patty, I think, no, Judy said she made them with Shrinky Dinks. I am so excited to see what that looks like. Shrinky Dinks sounds like it would be a lot of fun. Something fun to do. So, yeah, that would be a lot of fun too. Let me do this real quick while we're here. Since we've got the fabric picked out for the other set of blocks that we haven't even started cutting them yet, that is Lulu. So I'm going to go ahead and mark up the Ziploc for that, and I'm going to put those in here. Lulu. This. And then I'm sure I will be able to remember, but just, you know, to save my own little sanity, I'm going to go ahead and mark these as ears and face. So then that way when we come back to it, we know 100% what it's for. Because unfortunately, I don't know that we're going to see this one again for a little bit. We've got a lot of other things kind of happening here in the background. So I don't know that we're going to see this one again until mid-March. So as many notes as I can leave for myself will make things easier. So I'm going to write face on one and ears on another. And then I have one here. I need to buy more clips too. Alright, so face is this lighter one here. And I do still need to buy one more piece of fabric for this project. It is called a light solid detail fabric. I do still need to do that left. Because we can't put the pieces together until I buy that. So I'm gonna have to run to the store at some point. Yes, Terry, I love to organize as well, but like she said, yeah. It does take just as much time, but it also saves you a lot of time in the long run as well. So there, now I've got all my Ziplocs with all my different pieces. I don't know why I like to push the air out. There we go. And then this one. Push the air out. Okay. So there's the 3 blocks. And then I've got my background fabric here. I've got my dark fabric here. And then I've got the other 2 fabrics that I've purchased for the backing and the border fabric in here. So I'm just going to throw everything in here like this. Scraps can go down here. This one can go in here. That one can go in there. Ooh, it's going to be tight. There we go. There we go. And then this one goes right on top so that I can see it through the top. And then that, friends, is how I organize all of my projects. I keep everything in this bin, or as much as I can in this bin, until it literally will not fit anymore. But this bin then goes underneath my the bottom row here. And when I'm ready, I just pull the whole bin out and everything is here. Now, sometimes I will even put thread in here too, if it's a color coordinating thread that I want to make sure that I keep with the project and I don't want to accidentally use it for something else. I will likely be using a dark brown thread for this, or a cream colored thread. I think it depends on the black. I haven't really decided yet, so that's why I haven't put any thread in here yet. I kind of want to see what the dark thread looks like underneath some of these lighter colored fabrics, because I have a funny feeling that the dark thread is going to show through too much. So I'll probably end up with a light gray colored fabric, or a light brown thread. I have stuff up there. Like, I'll find something up there to use. I'll come up with something. If not, I'll just go with white. It's not that big of a deal. So that's why everything stays nice and neat and organized in here. And then that way I don't have to worry about it. Oh, look, I grabbed a piece of... I gotta pull this whole thing back apart as we get to the scrap. Because I forgot to put this little piece in here. There we go. My scraps. But that's also why I kind of lose my alphabetties, because they end up in these project bins until I get to them. And then once I don't need that letter or thing anymore, then they go back in the bin here. But I think I need a few more sets. So I think I'm going to probably order a couple more sets here. There we go. Ta-da! Ta-da! Terry says, I use a light gray thread on most things. Yeah, Terry, I have black and white thread kind of as my go-tos. They sit right there, right on top of the cabinet there, and that's what I use for most of it. It's just, I've been trying to use colored threads just because I have so much thread. So I've been trying to use some of the colored threads. I've not bought any thread in a very long time. The only color thread that I will buy is the black and white when I run out. But otherwise, I've been trying to use colored threads just to kind of get rid of some of it, because I do have a lot of it. So I'm just trying to save myself a little bit of time and energy and money, of course. So that's why I try to use a little bit of a coordinating thread. I don't go buy anything specific. If I've got it in my stash, great. If not, then it's either a black or a white. That's what I go with. I don't worry about it too much. I mean, once I get to the binding, then I'll actually start to try and find something that kind of matches or goes along with it. But otherwise, I don't worry about it. Speaking of binding fabrics, you guys can't really see it very well. It's just off camera here, but I'm actually working on the binding for our Galaxy quilt that we were working on a little while ago. We put it together last year. I got it long-armed late last year. It's kind of been sitting in the corner. I'm working on a binding for it, but I have 2 different pieces of binding cut because I want to try and do something a little different. I saw a video online and I want to try it out and see if it works. If it works out and it looks amazing, I'm going to show it to you guys. If it looks terrible, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I'm not going to say anything about it. But if it ends up working out the way I hope it does, I will share that with you guys. I'll let you know how I did it and show you what it looks like when it's done. But for right now, that's why you might see it just here off camera, is because I was working on that yesterday. So I've been doing just a ton of cutting and ironing over the last few days. Another update, all of our blocks for Resilient, all of the pieces for our blocks for Resilient have been ironed and trimmed down. So the next time you see that project, which will probably be very soon, next time you see that project, we'll be able to just put blocks together. Like, we won't have to deal with all the trimming and the cutting and the ironing. We'll just be able to sew. So that's what I'm really excited about. So hopefully that project will go a little bit faster. I've been working on that one off camera for couple weeks now off camera. Like, I pulled my little table out, I pulled that out and work on that. So anyway, all right friends, it has officially reached that time of the day where we have to say goodbye, but that is only just for a week. We will be back next week with lots more fun. I don't even know what we're working on next week, to be honest with you. I have to put the thumbnails together this afternoon, for next week. I will let you guys know next week exactly which block it is we're going to be doing for the block party series. That will be coming back. That will be back next month. We will be doing our Norfolk quilt block of the month next month as well. That one was shipping today, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, so guys, just keep an eye out on the channel, keep an eye out on our Facebook page. I try to set up events for each of our live streams so that you guys know what's coming up when and where, so that it also gives you some reminders, because the YouTube reminders don't always work. So I try and do that. I will have another video for you guys with regards to the Floral States of America project here soon. Things just kind of got away from me. This month of January has just been crazy for me with my new position at work and all the projects and trying to catch up and things like that. So I just have not had a chance to get to it. But we will be getting back to that one. That one will be coming back. I actually have 3 videos that are already recorded. I just have to edit them and put the commentary in and then put them out. So they will be here soon. But anyway, guys, we have officially reached that time. Thank you again so much for hanging out with me. Have a great rest of your weekend, a great rest of your day, and a great rest of your week. And I will see you guys again next week. Bye for now.